Hey everyone, I know it's been a long time since my last tutorial, but I've been kind of busy. But I'm going to crank one out right before the release of Starcraft 2, and hopefully it'll still be relevant after the release, but they always change things with the editor, so you never know. But some people have been wanting to see this, and I think it's useful to have it as a tutorial regardless, so I'm just going to demo it right now. So the idea behind this tutorial is that we're going to have a hero, which say he's already level 2, and let's say he has some items already. This is from my items tutorial, by the way, this map. I just added him to have levels, and you can figure that out. That's not really the important part of this tutorial. But I have the leather armor, the weapon, and the circling venom, which has a broken icon. Nice. Anyways, so what I'm going to show here is that if I go, and I have some money too, if I go here and I die, it'll say this message, and I lost some minerals, and 5 seconds later, boom, I have my guy here. He's lost some health because you don't give everybody back their full health after dying. You got a message, and I'm still level 2, and as you can see, I have all my items back here, and I can go play or die or whichever. So why don't we go in the editor? It's a pretty short tutorial, but why don't we go in the editor and I'll show this. Okay, so basically all we have to do in the train editor, assuming you have your RPG already set up and everything, is you have to have your point set up wherever you're going to respawn. So if it's like at the start of your map or the start of the town or whatever, you just need a point somewhere. And then I assume you'd have the rest of your hero stuff done, because this is just about hero reviving. And I will be providing this map in the description so you can download it if you don't want to watch me and listen to me. So we're going to start in triggers, and I already have them done here, so I'm just going to disable them, and I'm going to make them again. So let's make a new trigger. Let's call it init money. Is there any way I can hide these? Yeah, I'll just put them below. So ignore these two. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to give the player just some starting money, just so we can see that it's subtracted properly. And what I'm going to do is press Control W here on actions, and I'm going to go to P player, modify player property, press OK, and I'm going to modify player 1 minerals, and I'm going to set it to 50. Okay, copy paste, and I'm going to modify player 2's minerals to be, oops, not player 2's minerals, player 1's Vespine to be 50 as well. So we can see that both values get subtracted. And we don't have an event, so we should add an event. And I press Control W again, by the way, of game map initialization. Let's save here. And so this is done, and now we can go straight to reviving. So I'm just going to copy paste F2 to rename, and I'm going to call this revival. And so the event now is going to be unit dies. Okay, and I'm just going to delete these. So we need some local variables to save the dying unit, because generally if you have wait conditions in your trigger, or your trigger has to wait a certain amount of time, it'll lose the reference to whatever was the dying unit. So I press Control W in the local variables, and I'm going to name it dying unit, and its type is going to be U for unit. And then also we need another. I copy pasted it, and we need another one. Another unit group. Well, not another unit group. A unit group. Sorry. Let's call this temp group, and let's make it unit group. And this is just to store what items your heroes has. So the issue right now, before the release of Starcraft 2, I don't know if they'll fix this after. The issue is that even if you check the flag in the data editor to not drop your heroes' items, they will actually drop anyway. And I think it's a bug right now, but. So anyways, to deal with that, we're going to do a little workaround to sort of hide your items when you die and then give them back to you when you respawn. So it makes it look like looks like they kept on your body and didn't fall off. So we have these two local variables ready to go. And now let's go to, and actually let's set the dying unit to initially be, click on this, initially be function T, where's triggering unit? And this one will still be empty. And the condition, we want to make sure that, I press Control W, by the way. Comparison's okay. We want to make sure that it's a hero. So, hold on. Unit. I think we can do this easily. Unit type classification, maybe? Yeah, alright. Yes, heroes in here. So unit type of triggering unit, and we can use triggering unit here because because it happens right away, but later on we want to reference dying unit instead of triggering unit because it'll forget what triggering unit is. So unit type of triggering unit is hero equal to true. There we go. Why do I just keep closing? Anyways, so now in actions, first thing we want to do is Control W and UIT text message. So we want to display respawning in 5 seconds. You will lose some money. Okay. And for all players, we want to change that to convert player to player group, and change this to player. Well, we'll leave it at 1, but you could change it to function unit owner of unit. Change it to owner of triggering unit. And let's copy paste, and let's modify their money. Let's get rid of their 10% of their gold or whatever. I mean, not gold, minerals. So let's modify player property, modify player 1. You can change this to be unit owner of triggering unit. You could leave it as player 1 since this is a 1-player map right now, but I'm assuming most RPGs are going to be multiplayer, so that's better. And we're going to subtract. And we're going to change the value to be a math arithmetic. And it's going the plus sign, make it a dividing sign. And the value is going to be function player property. And it's going to be, instead of triggering player, unit owner of triggering unit minerals divided by, and then now change the 1 to a 10. And let's copy paste this and change minerals to V for Vespine. Okay, so we subtracted your minerals and Vespine, and now we want to pick all the items owned by that were dropped by the unit, and hide them. So I'm going to Control W and go to unit group, and pick each unit in unit group. So we're going to pick all the items that just dropped. Let's see. So instead of last created units, let's change this to unit group units in region matching condition. So we want to do any units and change entire map to convert. Let's see, circle. Let's do circle. Or let's see, what's a better? Hold on. How about circle? So instead of this point here, let's change this to unit, position of unit, position of the triggering unit's good, and make the radius 0.0 so it'll have no size. And any player, that's good for now. I think you could change that to neutral, because I think items are dropped as neutral, but well, if you have it set up that way in the data editor. But I'm going to leave it as any player, and here we're going to go required for items. And you could get rid of the excluded if you want. I'm just going to leave it because I don't think items would ever be any of those. Well, maybe, but I don't know. Your items shouldn't be killable, hopefully. And with at most any mount and do. So in here, we want to do for each item that was just dropped on your hero, aka it's in 0 range of where your hero died. We want a unit group, add unit to unit group. We want to add instead of triggering unit, we want picked unit, because we're picking each unit in this unit group. Pick each unit, so we want to add picked unit to, and then now we're going to pick our variable temp group. So we have this little temp group. So if player 1's hero dies, and player 2's hero dies right after, it'll create 2 separate instances of this trigger, and so each one will have its own temp group. So you if you're thinking about worrying about like, oh, player 2's items might override player 1's, which some people might think, don't worry about it because this is a local variable in here. If player 1's hero dies, his items will have its own temp group, and player 2 will have their own temp group. Okay, so we added it to the temp group, and we also want to just hide the item so that nobody can mess with it. So I went to make a new action and unit, press S, and then we want to show/hide unit, and we want to hide function picked unit instead of triggering unit.